Hello, welcome to the 2019 Women's Mid-Atlantic Bonspiel at the Potomac Curling Club at the National Capital Curling Center in Laurel, Maryland. I'm Ken Clark and operating the controls for the moment, but we have other people who'll be operating the controls in a minute here. So we got the first stone thrown on our feature sheet, which is Team Rudd versus Team Brockman. And assuming that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing with their assigned colors, the yellow would be Team Brockman, and now it's Team Rudd throwing a red. Oh, where is it? There it is, going down the ice.
You want to sit next to him?
Yep.
Thank you, Ken, for the setup.
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks,
it.
Ken. Really appreciate it.
All right, so we are back. Paul was doing the ice. I had, and Lauren just came off the ice.
And I was on the ice?
Yeah.
And no, I'm not.
Super exciting. I'm going to turn you down a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm a bit loud. Don't need to
Be
yell
like,
at anyone.
Be like that. You remember the Saturday Night Live skit where they do the NPR and they talk real quiet? And
This is Lauren Luther.
yeah,
Coming
this
to
is
you
Lauren
from
Luther.
Laurel, Maryland.
Oh, we got a hot mic here. Got a hot mic. Hot mic. That was you. You had a hot mic at the beginning.
There's a little bug in this version right now.
All right, so we have on the ice right now 2 Pennsylvania teams. We have Team Brockman from Bucks County against Team Rudd from Philadelphia and Bucks County.
Team Brockman is the Yellow Rocks. Team Rudd is the red.
We hope.
We hope.
That's
We
what they
think.
were supposed to be.
Okay.
So I don't know. I got to find a name tag and figure out.
The challenge is they all have Philadelphia
So-
or Bucks namesakes.
So Team Rudd is throwing red.
Team Rudd is red. Okay, we got it.
Yeah.
There. Woo-hoo.
That-
R for red.
Thank goodness, yeah. That is a fortuitous. Rudd is red.
Red is red.
Rudd is red.
Click on the replay tab.
So my name is Brian Dauernheim. I'm sitting here with Lauren Luthi to my right.
Hello.
And Paul Luthi is running the board. He's getting the little rundown from Ken. Ken has significantly upgraded our webcasting controls.
We have instant replay.
I know. He was showing me that,
Ooh.
and I was really nervous about actually trying to
Oh my
use it, and so
gosh.
that's why I stuck Paul over there.
So yeah, if we have something where we want to do an instant replay, before Ken runs away too fast, I kind of want to maybe try that.
It was, yeah. You can try it with one of these early.
Yeah.
This is only the, 7th rock of the end, so it's pretty safe to just kind of run a replay real quick. Whatever. So I did not actually check what event these guys are in.
Oh.
These gals are in. Guys, gals,
Guys,
people.
guys is a generic
guys is-
Midwestern people term, right? So
That is where, yeah, that's where I got it from. Sure, we'll go with that. I just always call people guys. My kids are guys. Everybody I know is guys. Guys is.
I know Judy's been updating it, so
It was updated because that's how we figured out how to stick our team names into
Friday at 9 o'clock. Sheet B. This is A.
This is the A
This
event.
is still the A event.
All right.
This is
We
the,
do also have a couple B event games going on at the same time.
We
though,
do,
so
yeah. So sheets B and D are both on the A event, and then I assume A and C are on
I think that's
the
correct.
B.
Yeah.
So
So that means that
Yes.
these two teams won their first games earlier today.
that's correct.
So Lauren, how about you run us down? What's the significance of this event? It's the Women's Mid-Atlantic Bonspiel.
The women's
It's
Mid-Atlantic.
not something
yeah.
that we normally host here at Potomac. It rotates around, right?
It does. So it rotates between 4 clubs traditionally. So Potomac, Plainfield, Philadelphia, and the Chesapeake Curling Clubs all share this Bonspiel. But it's actually a USWCA, so U.S. Women's Curling Association circuit event. So they host, or they have a good handful of circuit events every year you can sign up for and earn points. And then if you get enough points, you get to go play at the national championship. So women from anywhere in the country can
What
play
kind
in here.
of national championship?
The women's national championship. But not the nationals. It's the USWCA national championship instead of the U.S. Curling Club national championship.
So it's like somewhere between a club nationals and a world qualifying national.
something like
type
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it goes. I mean, much like clubs, it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. That's the topping out is winning
Yep.
your nationals.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's great. So we have
That's
teams.
better than
yeah.
the improv show where the points mean nothing, right?
Yes.
The points do mean something here.
The points at least get you bragging rights here. We
Yeah.
actually discovered if we'd signed up soon enough, we're playing 2 circuit events this year and we didn't even know.
Oh,
so
there you go.
we could have qualified for the circuit. Lesson learned for next year.
Yeah.
So
I definitely know a bunch of people who sign up for. There's a few cash spiels that are technically World Curling events.
Yes.
World Curling Tour events. So there's one in Kalamazoo every year. There was one in Nutmeg this year.
Mm-hmm.
So when even if you play in one of those and you do anything, you basically are now in a world ranking.
Ooh.
You may be 248th in the world, but you are world ranked at that point. So I don't think that it quite goes that far for these ladies, but it's still an interesting little twist on the event. Yeah.
So we brought Ken back. We're going to try replay maybe up on this next shot. Just see
Okay.
Just see how it works.
All right.
It's going to
Also,
replay both sides.
This is the last Vice Rock.
Maybe
Looks
we'll
like
do it
they're
on
drawing.
the Skips Rocks maybe or something like that. We'll do
Yeah,
a
so
replay.
this is a draw. So, oh no, never mind. I might be totally wrong about that.
I think they called for the
No,
draw.
it's
they
a
called
draw.
the draw, yeah.
It's just it's out a ways. So I think that's red, so that's Rudd. So
Red
that
is
should be
red.
Kristen Weiss was throwing that rock there. These two draws just kind of blurred together there. That was a nice shot.
It was a nice shot.
Red is now sitting 3.
Yeah.
Suppose we should pay attention to the curling action
Maybe.
now. Red all of a sudden is sitting 3. And yellow does not have hammer, which is not a good.
That is a tough spot to be in.
Yeah. On the plus side, yellow does have 2 guards out front. You can see those 2 guards, one right on the center line and one a little bit offset to the right side of the center line.
Looks
So-
like they want to take a nice hit and roll to the middle.
Yeah, Amanda Brockman is coming down to throw her first of 2 skip rocks. She would love to just get that hit and roll into the 8-foot somewhere behind her own guard. Lauren, you played on sheet B earlier today, right?
I did.
What'd you think of sheet B?
It was playing okay.
That was a nice shot right there. It did exactly what we
Yeah.
thought. Right
it was
behind
fairly predictable.
right behind the far right-hand guard. What'd you think of sheet B? But still,
All right.
very nice shot.
Instant replay
playing
here.
okay.
Ooh, look at that. That was a nice shot right there.
That's
Did
fun.
exactly what
That's
I
really cool.
what we
Yeah.
thought.
Thanks, Ken. That's awesome.
Right
It was
behind
fairly
that.
predictable.
That was a good shot to do it on too, because it was a perfectly played hit and roll.
So cool. So any of the cool things you see on the broadcast screen throughout are all Ken's amazing responsibility. He's making us look way more professional.
Yeah,
than we are.
anything that you see that sucks is probably our
That's
fault.
our fault.
And I'm blaming Paul for that. So.
Because he's clicking the button, so it's his fault.
Yeah, it's definitely his fault.
And then I'll blame the Brandy Old Fashions for that.
Blame? I don't know.
We're going to get you to give us your recipe later. We're going to wait for a few more shots, though, to go through. Speaking of shots, so Deanne Rudd is throwing her first of 2 skip rocks, trying to just draw behind, because that yellow ended up very well buried. They do have to get it all the way, almost touching the forefoot, and this looks like it's coming up a little bit light, and it is.
Yeah.
It's the first end. Happens every bonspiel, every game. First end, you underestimate how hard you need to throw a rock.
And then the ice speeds up in the second end.
Yeah.
Just a draw behind, it looks like.
So, remind me, Lauren, have you played in a playdown event yet?
I've played in a mixed playdown with
Mixed
you.
playdown. That's good enough. Yeah, that's right.
You
just
may
testing-
remember me
just
from
testing
your
you that.
team.
You may remember me from such hits as the time I played on your team.
Right, and then
yeah.
we're going to women's playdowns, the GNCC women's playdowns in a few weeks, actually. It's coming up
Schenectady.
real fast. In Schenectady, New York. It's where I want to go in December, northern New York.
Snowy Schenectady. They already had a snowstorm of over 1.5 feet of snow. So
Great. It's perfect. I'll be ready.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
So it's a
up
good
there.
idea that we're flying. It's good.
They know how to deal with it.
They
there.
do.
So
They do. And then I don't have to worry about driving like we did back from Utica one year.
yeah,
That was not
Utica
good.
is even further.
That was not good.
Yeah, that's not fun. So, as you may remember from playing in a playdowns, you have a brief period before the game where you have certain time where you're allowed to throw practice shots, and then you have to throw a practice draw to the button that gets measured, and then that determines who has hammer and things like that. So when you're actually playing your first end in a playdowns scenario, the ice is up to speed.
And it's like your second end. Like
yeah,
you've settled
it
in.
really
and-
is.
Yeah.
It's probably even more than that.
Yeah.
You'll see teams in practices for playdowns such as that who are just like their first 8 rocks, they just like whip them down the ice to just
Clear
break down
everything.
that pebble and get everything up to speed.
What
These
I-
ladies basically immediately started as soon as we prepped the ice after the last games cleared off the ice. So they do not have that advantage. So
Nah, you get that
there's
end
another
first
draw attempt right there that came up well short.
Yeah.
I don't think they're disappointed with that. They're still sitting shot. They were kind of hoping to maybe sneak another one in, but
I
they
think so.
like having it short and not bumping somebody in.
Well, and it forces now Red has to make this a bit long corner promote on this long guard stone.
Yeah, if they somehow manage to run that just a little bit of an angle straight
Yeah.
back, you might be able to score 3, but it's a very, like a first end shot, you don't want to be having to
It's a
throw
tough-
this on the
it's
first
a
end.
tough- Especially that wide. So earlier today, that wide out was running fairly straight. So it'll be interesting to see.
She's not giving a whole lot of ice,
No.
so I think maybe she's kind of expecting that a little bit. She looked like she came out a hair wide, but maybe tucked it back in.
Yeah. Ooh, there it goes.
They're trying. That
Ooh,
looks pretty
ooh.
close.
Oh.
Oh, is it going to jam in the back? Oh, it jammed in the back, but they
They still
managed to
got
get one.
Yeah.
Let's see a replay there, guys.
Good job, Paul. They're trying. That looks pretty
Ooh.
close.
Oh.
Bam, and
Oh, it's
just
gonna jam in the back.
taking
Oh, it
out
jammed
their
in the
one
back,
but they
but they
managed
still
to
got
get
one.
one. To be in a great
Yeah.
shot.
Let's see,
Almost had
let's see
3
replay
on
there,
that
guys.
one if they managed to get it. So even so, pretty great shot to manage to score the one after a wonderful shot by Amanda Brockman. Made that hit and roll. Deanne Rudd
And
came
working
right back.
around all those guards, too. There
Yeah.
was a lot up there.
Deanne Rudd came right back and managed to get her single in the first. All of the other games are well behind us.
Oh, wow.
C and D certainly started behind us because
Yeah.
these teams were out ready to play while they were still
Prepping.
nipping the ice.
Well,
over on C&D.
they were fixing something on D for a couple minutes too.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of a divot out there.
Thought so.
I did see somebody kind of
So
messing with that
Arthur
area.
had seen that first and
Yeah.
grabbed the squirt bottle, and then we called Ice Master Craig out to
Yes.
take a look, and it wasn't too bad.
It's
We
gonna
did a
be a
little
nice-
scraping on it. And
Nice little top 12 stone. The other nice thing about playdowns that I miss every time we play here is you get a minute in between each end. So if you're playing lead and you have to sweep a stone end to end and then shoot, you get a nice like breather in the middle, which I like a lot.
That is nice. The downside, however, wait, no, mixed still only plays 8, right? We only played 8.
Mixed only played 8. I think it's 10. for-
And the
yeah,
men's and women's playdowns that you're going to play in Schenectady, I believe you're playing 10.
I think it's 10.
Although there's some discussion. There's a hullabaloo.
There is a hullabaloo.
There's a discussion about whether or not we should be playing 10 ends. Frankly, at these kind of events, not even these, like the club playdowns events where you don't have somebody who's getting paid to do the ice.
Yeah.
8 ends is about how long the ice is going to hold up.
Right.
I mean, with the practice.
Well, especially if you're not doing like a mid-game pebble or anything.
Right, you can't.
So
They're only maybe pebbling right in front of the hack.
yeah.
The ice is just, it's going to be hard for the ice to hold up unless you're somebody who really, really, really knows what they're doing. So here they're coming into the house again
A little tap.
and tapping a little
Yeah, I
bit.
think they were looking for the draw, but
A
that's
draw
okay.
or a guard, or yeah.
hello to all 19 of you watching us.
Whoa. Woo.
They actually had to click something to retune into this too. I don't think we didn't just leave the stream up. Ken actually stopped the stream. So somebody actually had to actively decide to listen to our crap.
Oh man. That is a bold and noble move.
Nice little hit coming in here from the lead for Team Brockman, Pat
Nice.
O'Donnell. Now they're sitting 2. Very nice shot.
Looks like they're just going to hit that back, though.
They are going to hit it back, but whenever you have a lead who can throw takeouts, I'm going to take that. It's not a skill that leads have to do very often.
No, it's a lot of guard, draw,
Yeah,
draw.
and then when you have to throw in that random hit every now and then, you're just like, I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I get a little too excited every time I get a hit.
So Jane Stayer
Ooh.
making a nice
Yeah.
little hit and almost made the double,
Almost
but
made the
jammed.
double. Looks like Amanda's gonna call for a draw. Looks like they're gonna try to guard their other Yellowstone a little bit.
I like Amanda's broom holding pose.
I know.
A little cross-legged
Yeah.
broom holding pose. Yeah, I think they're just throwing another one in the house. This is one of those situations. I was talking with somebody earlier today who was asking me advice about how to skip. And my biggest, and she was skipping with some people who she doesn't really know at all. And I was basically telling her, you need to figure out what they're good at very quickly.
Yeah.
Because, and that may be one of those situations. You could have easily hit that red out front if you know that the player who's throwing is good at hits. But she clearly was comfortable with her throwing a draw, which is a totally great shot too. She clearly made that shot. Either one is good, but it's what is your team comfortable with throwing, and what are you comfortable with calling for them? So this is a hit that's going to be a bit
Hanging
wide.
way out.
We get the back one at least. And roll all the way over and stick around.
All right.
We've got some scores. So on sheet A, Jersey Pinelands took 1 in the first. They are the Redstones over there. And then on sheet C, the Blackhawk Curling Club team took 3 in the first. They are also the Redstones.
GT is still throwing their last
Yeah, they're still
last
working
rock
on
right
it.
now. Yeah, a lot of chunk in front of the house on that one. Oh, and
Oh
someone
no! Oh no!
somebody just fell on the rocks. I don't know what's going to happen there. There's a lot of, I think it didn't really matter. She
I don't
moved,
think it did actually. I think
moved
that
a rock that didn't actually.
she looks to be okay.
I think she was trying to back up out of the way
Yeah, she backed into
Didn't
a
realize
stone.
there was a rock there yet.
and tripped behind her, yeah.
So another draw there for Team Brockman. But it's a little bit closer together now, so there's an opportunity here for Kristen Weiss to maybe play a double.
Double for 3, or at least a sit
To
three.
sit 3.
Yeah. Lots of points on D for that one. Team
Over
Kirkyard
5.
took 5 points on that one, third and red. So red scoring everybody in the first end there.
That team also, as I recall, oh, nice shot here.
Yep, split out the back one.
Split out the back one.
I don't
Didn't
think
quite
they
make
wanted that, but
didn't make that the double they
Yeah.
wanted, but not a bad shot. That the Kirchner team, I believe, only gave up a single point the whole game, their early game. As I recall,
Oh,
it was
the early,
it was
yeah.
a 13-1, something like that.
Something
It was
like that, yeah.
So they're a pretty good team. I recognize the skip from many events. I
Right now,
recognize
yeah.
probably the whole team.
I believe that entire team's coming to women's playdowns as well.
Yeah.
So I think there's a
Good.
few of the teams here.
It's a good warm-up event for that. That's only a few
Absolutely.
weeks away.
A couple weeks away, yeah. Close to home. Can't get much closer to home than your home club.
So nice guard there, played for Judy Jedlowski.
It looks like Deanne's
Trying to see
trying
if
to
she
find
can
that back
see
stone, yeah.
if they
Trying to
can
find
see
that
it.
shot yellow stone. 'Cause this is where you need a lefty. Solves a lot of your problems.
Sound like you know from experience, Lynn.
I might.
The lefty
Sometimes
hack
it
might
screws up
be
your
able to
line,
see a little
though.
more of that
Yeah, I
one.
don't know. I think
that's
it's
true.
pretty buried.
She did call a hack weight hit on this. Not sure I'm in love with that call.
There's some lines that
No,
ran
that's
really
not.
straight here, so
Not entirely sure that's hack weight anyways. I'd rather just throw more weight and take the guard out
Yeah.
rather than if you throw a hack weight and
tap it
don't
in.
get rid of it, then you're in big trouble. That was solidly bored. Amanda back in her pose, calling for another one to get in the rings right in front of that one. So, Lauren, is this the kind of event that also has a coordination amongst team members with the wardrobe? I noticed on sheet A there are coordinated T-shirts going out
Does
over
not
there.
surprise me. I feel like any spiel, you can get some fun coordinated costumes here. I know there's at least one coordinated Potomac team.
Which team would that be? Not
No, the Fez Extreme team.
you. Yeah. The,
Some
Chris-
of the
is that
tallest people in
Christine-
our club.
Christine's team.
Christine, yeah.
Christine
yep.
and Heidi, and yeah.
They have awesome shirts.
Christine and Heidi are also members of the Lord of the Rings themed
That is
team
right.
with
That's right.
Michael and JR.
Lord of the Rinks.
they
Lord
had-
of the Rink.
Yeah,
Lord of the Rink.
Lord of the Rink, yeah.
They had their own pins made up
They do, and shirts.
in Elvish,
It's awesome.
as I recall. What are the Fezziwigs? What are they wearing?
They have shirts with like Fezzik's outline from like Princess Bride.
Yeah, yeah.
They accidentally recruited basically all of the tallest women in our club. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And like the way
Fezzik,
they got
of course, being the Andre the Giant character.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Do they make all of their shot calls in rhyme?
Ooh, they should. I should tell them that. I should make that a requirement for their team. I think they play on Thursdays. They could practice that. So they're looking for the draw here, and they're just going to squeeze down to the guard.
They might end up being
Ooh, look
shot
at that.
over here,
Yeah.
though. Oh, a little
nice.
favorable
Finished in,
spin
yeah.
and
Nice
managed to get
spin.
shot rock
Great
out of it.
sweep in there, too.
That's why you never stop sweeping.
No,
I
never
mean,
stop.
Just keep going.
Unless your skip's really yelling at you, then you can stop.
Yeah, this happens sometimes. Sometimes skips are wrong. Most of the time,
Well, and
not.
sometimes, at least
No.
on A, we were pushing stones out. So we'd start sweeping and then push it the wrong way. Oops.
I have definitely been in a situation before where I am down at the other hack, and I will look up at my team and say, please don't jump this rock. Which
know what you're
basically
talking
means
about.
you screwed it up before.
I don't know what you're talking
Don't
about.
do that again.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never jumped a rock.
Never.
All right, so this is yellow. Let's see, they're first. So this is Amanda's first rock.
Plenty of ice on this one, so
Yeah.
I was just hoping for a downweight hit to take it out and hang around. It's got to cross that
It's
center
running
line.
straight.
And then goes, nope.
Maybe a little
Too
bit.
early.
No, none of it.
Yeah. That was just a misread of the ice there a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
They were definitely expecting it to start getting close to that center line and jump, and just did not take that jump for him. So now it's kind of decision time for Deanne. She can elect to protect her shot rock,
Or she can,
or
hit
she
the
can
yellow
really
one.
put the pressure on, take out the yellow and sit 3. Looks like she's decided to take out the yellow.
Yeah. It looks like she wouldn't be a pretty tough double.
I think as long as
I think
she
if she
takes it
noses,
out,
yeah.
it's fine. She can roll out, it's fine, doesn't matter. But speaking of coordinated outfits, I'm noticing over on sheet C, there are some white jackets,
Whoa, look
white
at
puffy
that.
jackets.
That is
That
a
are very
curling look.
coordinated.
Yes.
There's at least 2 of them. I believe there's the 3 that are the regular members,
Oh, they are. Look
and
at
then
that.
they have a spare. This is close shot here. Sorry, back over here real quick. Gonna get by the guard. Just getting it in
what a
sit
shot.
3.
Oh, what a shot.
That's a great shot.
Oh, look
And
at
then
that.
they have a spare.
Well swept. Well
This
shot.
is close shot here. Sorry, back over here real quick. Gonna get by the guard. Just getting
real
it in.
pressure. What a
sit
shot.
3. That's a lot of pressure
Oh,
on
what a-
Amanda here. She's got to basically make a draw to the
Yeah.
forefoot.
Oh, man.
There's a little bit of backing if you choose to draw towards one of those 2 reds that are basically touching the forefoot. Depends on which side you're more comfortable with, but if you throw it heavy at all, you go right through the uprights.
Oh,
and
yeah, exactly.
You're giving up a steal of 3, so.
Yeah.
So our coordinated white
shot.
jackets over on sheet C, I believe were from the Blackhawk curling
They
club
are. They are from Wisconsin.
from Wisconsin, and Andrea Dubin is
Yeah.
sparing for them.
Unfortunately, they had a team member fall ill, and we recruited a super spare.
Well, thank goodness for
Yeah.
not bringing the illness with you.
Exactly. Very
Because
grateful to them.
we
for
are
that.
all familiar with the Bondsfield crud, which is what everybody seems to come down with after everybody gathers together in a confined space for an extended
3
period
days.
of time. Go figure.
It's amazing how that happens. All right. It's the hero draw.
That's why they pay the skips
For Amanda.
$0.
Yes, that's why we give you the big bucks.
We should have got a split time on that one. That would have been a good one.
Doesn't look bad, at least from this like sideways angle over here.
I feel like they might need to still make contact with that one a
Yeah,
little
they
bit.
do need a little rub.
A little rub.
Oh, they need a rub.
Oh, it went right through.
Oh.
It's going to hang
Oh,
on
sit
to
down,
the
sit
back.
down, sit down. Oh, not
Oh,
enough
no.
flow. Ouch.
I hate to be a prophet, but I kind of called that
You
one.
might have called that one.
Right between the uprights.
Is that announcer's curse even here?
Oh, yeah,
It might be.
sorry. The curse of the Brian.
That was a
Alas.
We have some score
So,
updates on the
yeah,
other sheets.
So
here in a
that'll
second,
give
too.
Team Rudd a 4-0 lead
4
after
to nothing.
2.
And then
We're
we'll have
actually the fastest game so far.
We
so
are,
Our score
yeah.
updates are going to take a few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, Tracy's first stone now.
Steel 3, yep.
All right, start with the Naughty's top 12 stone. It looks like Pat's going to go for the corner. Wow.
Sorry, I was just watching sheet A. That was
I know.
Did you watch that shot?
No, I saw. Well, I saw it at the end.
Sheet A is a whole different animal from the other sheets.
There
We
are a
played
lot
on
of
that
rocks
sheet
over
on
there.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
You play the wall side, it runs a little straight.
Oh, we just played that sheet. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a shot just played over there that managed to. It was basically a shot that was not available if it was not sheet A.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately for Amanda Brockman, Pat O'Donnell threw her first one into the house, which means that Team Rudd is going to start hitting.
Tracy's gonna whack
Tracy
this out.
Schickel, which we already established from the first end, or second end rather, can throw the takeout weight. That's another beautiful, beautiful shot.
And a little roll.
I am foreseeing a long night for Amanda Brockman.
Oh yeah.
It's if Tracy Schickel can throw hits with a 4-point lead, that's going to be
That's gonna be
trouble.
tough to keep stones in the house. Looks
These
like
are
Pat's
the
got something up her sleeve still here.
yeah. These are the situations where, as a skip, I used to have some players who would throw front end for me, and they were well aware of the importance of throwing guards and not in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Where if it was towards the end of the game and we were losing by a fair amount, it was 2 guards or we lose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever actually had to say that to you guys, but
Probably close though.
it was in my head. It was definitely in my head. That
We're up to 25 people now.
welcome everybody.
24. Somebody just left.
Oh,
They didn't like your
jinxed
story.
it.
They didn't like
Yeah.
what- they didn't like what we were saying.
They didn't like my story.
They can't throw
All
the
I know
hits.
is I actually had I was sitting at work earlier today. Hi boss. And I had our stream up and the Columbus Curling Club's stream up because
Oh,
there's
nice.
the Beers of Columbus
I didn't realize
spiel
they had a
is-
stream. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a stream.
They're on Tussin. It's part of the TSN
It is.
streams. Yeah.
However, it sounds like it's underwater. So
Ooh.
maybe they fixed the audio by now, but like when I was listening to it, I had to turn off their audio and listen to our audio and watch their stream because it sounded like it was. They just had basically the house mic or the on
Like
ice mics,
environment. Yeah.
and it sounded a little bit like they were underwater. And I don't think they had actually had announcers. I didn't listen for that long.
No, they didn't when I checked
Yeah.
in.
But we also have some Potomac teams out there that I am
do.
aware of.
do.
Nick Smith, I believe, is out there with his wife and Jeremy Van Houten and
Catherine. yeah.
Catherine Koslick.
Oh, nice.
And Melvin Shaw, whose
Yep.
wife Courtney was playing on our stream
With
earlier
me.
today with Lauren, is also out there. I'm not sure who he's playing with, though. Do you guys
Jake Welly and
know? Oh, that's right, because I saw Jake's untapped check-ins.
Yes. That's how I know Jake's curling
the
is
only-
when he's drinking. Hi, Jake.
Yeah. The only time he posts to Twitter is when Untapped posts for him.
Unless he's laughing at something that like I've made fun of someone for. Usually Paul.
It's probably true too. So we have a measure coming in over here on sheet C. We'll update you as soon as they are done with that one.
And sheet A is clearing many, many stones. So at some point we will have a score update.
Sheet D is also throwing their
Second
to
to last, yeah.
rock.
Red's last rock over there. Alright, we're looking for another hit from Team Brockman.
Trading hits in this end.
Oh, hung out a little wide. There's a path there that runs real straight.
So I think that's the player earlier. I think that's Cassie who, when in the second end they were playing, they had the choice of throwing a hit or a draw, and they called draws for her a couple times. That may be an indication of what they're comfortable with her throwing. So
Looks like it might be yellow on, or another yellow. I don't know how many points yellow had.
I don't know if they did the official, like, move the shot zone to the center.
Yeah, they kicked the red away. So I don't know.
They kicked the red away.
I'm not sure if that
and
means
they're pointing
yellow
a lot,
got
and
it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we'll figure it out when somebody puts the score up. Red is looking to put another one in the rings. Currently sitting two. Oh, no, we're just looking to guard. Just guard.
I think they don't mind if there's another one in.
I don't think so.
but
Biter's not bad here.
It's the luxury of not having to worry about throwing a bad shot. It looks like over on sheet D, some confusion going on over there.
Well, they might need a measure now, too.
But there's still a rock to come.
Oh, is there? Oh, there is.
So I'm not really sure. They can't measure.
They
Oh, they're
cannot.
not. There's not a rock. I'm sorry.
They throw hammer
They did
already?
throw the hammer
They did.
already. There's a brief little look over towards the measuring devices, and then they decided they didn't need to, and they kicked them away. So we'll let you know what happened over there
Looks like
shortly.
Julie's going for a hit.
It's looking a lot better. It's got to hang on a little
We'll
bit.
get a good piece
Might
of it.
be. And it
Oh,
just
yeah.
rolls a little bit too far. So that, I think, is that straight spot that you were talking about. It hangs out a little bit.
There was a couple lines that we were just really fighting with.
Yep.
Score update on sheet A. Yellow Rocks Team O'Connor took one in the second, so that sheet is tied 1-1 now. We'll have an update on, let's see, sheet C. Redstone's Blackhawk Curling Club took another point, so that brings their score to 4-0 going into the third here. And sheet D will have an update in just a moment when they hang the score, which will be very soon.
It's happening right now as we speak.
Yeah, exactly.
You want the play-by-play of that? No,
Wait,
they're
there's
back
conversation.
talking.
There's conversation.
Conversation's not actually hanging the score. They're just talking
There's the
about
score.
it.
Here we go.
Here, and she's moving back.
There's the marker.
Here comes
There's the, nope,
the
not the hammer.
hammer's coming out. They haven't actually put the hammer indicator yet.
Yeah, just shove it
Shoving
back.
it
That's
behind
cool.
everything. Here comes the number 2. And
Yellow
it's
takes
yellow 2
in the second end. Bring that to 5-2 on sheet D. Yellow is, can you scroll down? It's yellow on sheet D. Oh, it's right there. Bernie's Bemis Bees?
No, Bemis Bees,
I
yeah.
thought that was a
Out
RN.
of Chesapeake Curling Club.
Oh, awesome.
That's,
Chesapeake are
that's-
curling neighbors.
That's Sandy Bemis.
Bemis?
Bemis.
Bemis Bees.
Sorry. Bemis Bees.
Oops.
I do
I
like
have a
that curling club,
story
though.
about her that I'll tell you later.
Yes.
It's actually not safe for on air.
Woo. This is almost late night on there, though.
It is, but it's not one that I want to share with the public.
You don't want to share it with
At least
28
not
of your closest
without
friends?
Sandy
28
here to
of
share
my
it,
closest
right?
And the millions and millions that are going to watch it on replay,
Yes.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. Chesapeake Curling Club's maybe an hour away from here. They're just over the bridge down the way.
Well, on
Well,
occasion.
okay,
On
I'm
occasion,
sorry.
it's an
when
hour.
traffic's not so
Yeah.
bad, it's
They-
about an hour
They're
away.
they're doing bridge construction right now.
They are.
Which anybody who knows construction knows that it sucks. It especially sucks on the Bay Bridge. The Bay Bridge, for those who are not familiar, has 2 lanes going in each
separate
two
bridges.
separate spans.
Yeah.
With 2 lanes going in each direction. On the days when it is a summer rush and everybody is trying to get to the beach, they'll open up and they'll have one of the 2 lanes going that would normally going westbound will be going eastbound so that the beach traffic can get out there. They're doing construction on one of the spans right now.
So is it only one span?
Occasionally, it's only one span. I think they still have 3 lanes, but for a lot of the time, it's only 1 lane on one span and 2 lanes on the other. And even though you think it's winter, there's not a lot of people going out to the shore. There's still plenty of traffic enough to. The other day I saw coming back after Thanksgiving weekend, there was literally a 10-mile backup coming back from the Eastern Shore. So thank you to our Chesapeake friends who are here this weekend fighting through all that traffic.
Very dear to us.
Yeah.
The very first time we drove across that bridge, I ended up on the opposite direction span. And I was panicking the whole time.
It is harrowing.
And Paul was just like, "Oh, I'm glad I didn't drive." And then we went and drank beer for an entire weekend, so it was okay.
That's
good.
A good results, yeah. Was it curling or no?
It was not curling. We went up to Dogfish Head.
Yeah, Dogfish Head.
Oh, so you went all the way out to Delaware.
We did. Well, all the way out, an extra 30 minutes to Delaware.
But you had the option to not even go on the bridge then. You could have easily gone north to 95.
Well, we
could have
that.
if we wanted to add like another hour and a half that day, I think.
Or like not have the white knuckle going across the bridge.
I learned a lesson, which is don't go on the single direction span.
So I'll share a little story. The one time that I tried to go to Dogfish Head was we were coming back from Cape May, New Jersey. And so we said, let's take the ferry. The ferry was delightful. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's a ferry from Cape May to Lewis, Delaware.
Where's Cape May?
Cape May is in New Jersey, right on the other side of.
Like just across.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Lewis, Delaware is where Dogfish Head is based, or well, technically Milton, I guess. It's a Lewis
is
area.
Where the brewery is. Yeah.
So we take the ferry from Cape May, New Jersey, into Lewis, Delaware, and we drive up to the Dogfish Head Brewery, and they're closed.
No.
It is the one of, I think, 3 days of the year that they're closed.
Oh, no.
It was a random day, too. It was so random. They have a day of service that they do. And so I couldn't get mad at them because they were off, like, working for Habitat for Humanity. And I was like, damn it, why are you? Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
It's a good excuse. It's not like it was a holiday weekend where I should have known that they would be closed or anything like that. They were closed because they were doing good things for people.
Probably like, oh, this isn't a busy day for us, so we're gonna close. And
it
Brian's
was.
Coming,
it was a random.
So.
It was a random Monday, like in June, and that was the day that they're like, this is a slow traffic day for us, so this is the day that we're gonna take off. So totally missed it. Didn't actually get to see the brewery. How is the brewery?
It's huge.
Yeah.
We actually also stayed at the inn so that we could do
nice.
the VIP. They drive you around tour, which is excellent, and you get to meet.
Sam Caglioli.
Yeah, Sam Caglioli comes out and says hi and hosts
a
bonfire for you. And
one of his books that he wrote.
It was great. Highly recommend the Dogfish Head.
So Deanne Rudd was here. Sorry, real quick. Deanne Rudd was trying to take out the yellow. Incidentally, managed to promote her red in to sit
second,
one.
Or just one, yeah. Well, they were only one, so I think she kind of knocked out.
I feel like we should talk about the shot every
Probably.
now and then.
Every now
so you stayed at the inn.
Yeah.
We stayed at the inn, which is nice.
Yeah, and the brewery tour is, it's like anyone. It's a little bigger, so it's like seeing a bigger
big brewery.
Production brewery.
Yes.
But the kicker is they give you a bunch of free beer.
Oh, man.
And then...
How much free beer, Paul?
Oh, man.
Oh, I don't remember.
That was a lot of free
beer.
beer.
Quite a bit of free beer.
If you don't remember, it was a lot.
They kept telling you online. It says it's like 3 or 4 ounce pours, and then they give you this glass, and then they keep filling it up. And then
the kicker is they take you into the gift shop.
Disney World style.
And they say, we'll be back in 30 minutes. We're going to continue another part of the tour. Just don't go anywhere. Just stay here.
So just buy whatever.
If you're Paul and I, you buy
if you
an
feel the
absurd amount of
urge,
beer.
yeah. If you feel the urge to buy anything, go ahead.
And then they're like, "Oh, just load it up on the shuttle." So we did.
Well, that's If you have a shuttle.
It took us a year to drink some of that beer. So.
Yeah. Very nice.
That's fun.
All right, so what are we gonna do here, guys?
So
We should probably actually
yellow's
play
got to
this
figure out. Yeah, no,
game.
I think yellow's looking to
So
kick out this
why don't you
redstone.
queue up the replay? Because if this is a good shot, it could be a
don't know if you
good
need that much
shot for
replay.
2.
Yeah, we'll get
If
the
they get
replay
the
ready
right
for the next one,
angle. If they get the right angle on this, it'll be for 2.
So do they want to split in a little bit here?
I think
or-
they need to just hit it a little. Actually, on nose is probably fine, and then they'll roll their yellow to the left.
Oh, hit the yellow on the nose.
Hit the yellow on the
Yeah.
nose. The yellow will roll a little bit to the left, and then even though they hit it to the right side of nose, it's fine. I think the only thing they can't really do is hit it to the left of nose.
Right.
That would probably be the not ideal.
So it looks like they're sitting from here. It looks like they're sitting second shot.
I have to say that
That's tough.
Amanda has probably the most interesting broom holding position, and then the rock cleaning position. She has the broom straight across her, basically on her lap as she's squatting down.
That's some
It's just
balance.
fascinating. There's
Some balance.
different methods. So she does
So
have to make
lots
sure
of
she hits
sweeping.
enough of this one.
Yeah. Oh, that moved
And that's
across.
really
Oh,
curling
man.
a bunch.
Ooh. Ah.
And just rubs off and gives up a steal of another single point. Curling
So
a
here's
bunch.
replay.
Ooh.
Well, we don't need to
Ooh,
so
I don't know if
bad,
I
and
wanna
just
play that.
rubs off
Not letting them
and
use it, though. It's
gives
like
up
so
a
much fun.
steal of
You're just
another
using it 'cause you
single
can.
point.
Pretty much.
I did hear earlier on the broadcast, Paul. I heard earlier on the broadcast that Ken is currently trying to investigate the telestrator functionality.
Telestrator.
So you
Oh,
can
like
draw
draw
little
pictures, yeah.
arrows and lines and things like that.
So
to
you
say
could be the
Like
next
TV.
Vic Router or
Yeah.
Glenn Howard out
I'm
Go
gonna-
there.
here,
Uh,
and set up the triple.
it would be Russ Howard, I think, actually.
Russ Howard.
Glenn is actually still curling.
Yeah.
Sorry,
This
yeah.
is a good story. Glenn and his son Scott trying to make one last Olympic run for Glenn, who has never actually been to the Olympics.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
The one
I'm
missing
surprised.
spot in his resume.
That surprises me.
He had a shot and lost to Kevin Martin in the finals of the Olympic trials. I believe it was in 2014 or 2010. That was the closest he's come. He has many Briars. I believe he also has
Yeah.
a world championship, but has never actually. The Olympics are weird because you're only every 4 years.
And thankfully, only one team from each country, or it would be all Canada.
All right. So speaking of which, I'm going to put in a plug real quick for the fantasy curling. Have you guys
I've been meaning
signed
to
up for
try
that?
No.
Okay.
How are you enjoying that?
All right. So if you go to curlingzone.com, you will see next week is I believe it's the Boost National Grand Slam of Curling event. We talked about this earlier because Lauren and Paul have a subscription to the Grand Slam
We do.
broadcasts. I'm going to pirate their stream.
Hopefully, no one from Pinty's
gonna-
is listening.
Yeah.
Though I'm pretty sure it's some dude's computer based on what we've seen when they start the stream.
Looks like they're
Is it really
DVR.
that bad?
Yeah.
We were watching the Canadian,
I thought
a
it-
Canadian news channel, and then the guy's guide comes up, and he's like, "Oh, there's the Pinty's
Oh, no.
broadcast." And I was like, "Wait a second, I paid a decent amount of money for this."
It is not cheap. It's $120 for the season or something, and
It is-
then
I think we got it for
20
$100 because we
$22
subscribed
for
early.
each event.
Yeah, it's pricey.
So that's coming up this week. Is the
Anyway.
Boost National Curling Grand Slam event, which is a lot of
nice.
Canadian teams.
Just stick around.
So if you sign up at curlingzone.com, you can. It's basically a salary cap. So the higher ranked teams are more expensive to try to have on your fantasy curling team.
Okay.
But you get a certain amount of points for there's a bunch of things that you get points for. There's if they steal, if they score multiple points, if they
that's
win a
fun.
game, if they make it all the way to the final, you're going to get a lot of points because that's
Right.
obviously a better team. But it's a kind of a trade-off. If you go for the higher ranked teams like John Epping, who just won the event last
Right.
week, is going to be a higher ranked team. So he's going to be a higher salary cap. You have to stay within your salary cap. You can pick a lower ranked team like Robin Silvernagel has dropped way down. She's only like $3,000 now, or something, $3,600 I think, out of your $40,000 salary cap.
Okay.
So if you think Robin Silvernagel is going to catch fire this week, that would be a super value pick. But it's fun, and it means absolutely. This is one where the points mean absolutely nothing. The only thing you get at the end is if you win the whole thing, you get a lovely parting gift from Dynasty Curling.
Oh, hey, we like them.
We like them. They made our jackets.
They did make our jackets. So how are you doing in the fantasy curling?
I have finished very near the bottom, and then last time I think I finished 60th out of 200 and something.
Oh, moving up.
I was doing very well because my men's teams did very well, and then I ended up losing because I think it was Brad Jacobs was the one who won. And he was the only guy I did not have on my team.
Do they only do it for the Grand Slam events?
They only do it. Right now they're doing it for the Grand Slam events because those are the easiest ones to plan for, and they're spaced out a little bit. So just so you guys know, we are not ignoring the other sheets. Our sheet is so far ahead that they are the only game that's actually in the fourth end. The other games are all still playing the third end.
Yeah, and they're I think they're getting close.
They're getting
yeah,
close.
They're all, it looks like they're
but
all
they're
on
all
Last
still
Rock.
in the third end. So we're
Apparently
not
only Red
ignoring
has
our
Hammer right
duties
now,
of
so.
updating you on the scores.
Yeah, fun story about the fantasy curling. I already told you this, Brian, but someone I went to high school with in the Kalamazoo area started the fantasy curling. So it's kind of a small world.
So yellow
So
with
that's
the draw here.
that would be Scott Chu.
Yep, Scott Chu,
Yeah.
his Twitter handle, if everybody wants to follow him, because we should give him a shout out because he did create all
Oh,
of
yeah.
this. And it's at if the Chu fits. So if CHU for Chu fits, or if the Chu fits.
I believe you can find him on Curling Zone as well.
He basically, from what I understand, he was really into like other fantasy sports as well. He was into fantasy baseball.
Yeah, I think he's a blogger for a fantasy
that us
website.
doing that?
Yeah, that's not us. That is our
Okay.
sound system. Sounds like they're trying to put
Oh, I see Laura Yee back there messing
trying to put
with
some
the-
music on or something like that.
Oh.
play some beats.
So this game,
So
yeah,
yellow,
back here, Amanda
yeah.
Brockman is sitting
Yeah.
shot, but
they're trying to draw another.
trying to figure out how to score more than one.
They had second shot, and then red said no and made it go away. So they're going to try again.
I wonder if the fantasy curling, if they'll, instead of just having to buy teams, if you'll be able to buy players.
That would be interesting. That's
yeah.
kind of tough, though,
Could
to
you-
like break a team. I guess you can do it in football.
Right? Can you buy the best lead or something like that?
So looks like Yellowstone didn't curl quite as much as they expected. So Deanne's going to look for a hit and roll to the center here. Get rid of this Yellowstone. We got some tunes in the background now too. This is real nice. See, we got on sheet A, yellow took 3 in the third end, so that score now is 4-1 Team O'Connor over Jersey Pinelands. We'll have updates. Let's see where we are. We should have updates on D in a moment and C in a few moments after that.
Yeah, C is about to throw their last
Yeah, C is throwing their last stone.
And D
And it looks like
is
Red's-
throwing their second lead
Yeah.
stone.
Team
Well, their
Red's-
first lead stones. But
Team Redstone just ran a little wide. Just missed that yellow rock. So Amanda Brockman here is calling for Julie to guard that. Kind of close down the lines here to protect their shot stone. No no sweeping on this one. It ran a little tight and a little quick. They're real concerned about that tap. Oh, they got a little rub. That wasn't bad.
Actually, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I think.
a little rub closes that line. That's about where they
Does
wanted
that
the guard.
put them at first, second, and third?
Let's see. Oh, oh my gosh, it's close. I think at least first and second. I'm not sure about who third is. Not from this camera. That's tough. So Deanne Rudd's going to look to take out what looks to be second shot. And they could, if they catch a little inside of the nose on that yellow, they could catch the other yellow stone and make them both go away.
So on sheet D, Bemis Bees got one there. So they're slowly clawing their way
Making
back.
a comeback, yeah. Sandy Bemis over there also has a fantastic Santa hat with lights on it that flash, and it's awesome. Oh.
Just missed that.
So a little outside of the nose on the yellow on
Bemis
the
over there also has a
hit there.
fantastic Santa hat
They
with lights on it
almost
that
for a
flash, and it's
moment
awesome.
thought they could catch a double on the back yellow and get it exposed. It's so buried
Just
behind some
missed
guards
that.
right now that it just flashed by. So Amanda Brockman's going to ask for another guard, close that hole back up since the guard did its job. Looks pretty quick. Oh, look at a nice rub here, though. Little roll in. Ooh. Nice. I don't know that was the called shot, but that is a nice shot.
I don't think so, but yeah.
Good to have a good plan B.
Sitting 1-2
And
now.
C and D,
Buried
just in
behind
case.
the two reds, yeah.
Yeah, so you got three reds kind of blocking the front. You can't really, tough to run those back. You can try to do corner run. They're maybe looking at a hit and roll off of this red, or this yellow, I'm sorry, that's sitting just in front of the tee line. Maybe tacking back one of the red stones that's in the top 8 foot. You do have a few options here.
On sheet C, Blackhawk Curling Club took 2 in the third, so they are now up 6-0.
So what other bond spills are you looking at this year, Paul?
Let's see. We've got our internal one coming up called the Big Spiel. This is not the same as the Big Spiel out in Minnesota, but
This is a smaller big spiel.
smaller Big Spiel. It's a big spiel for us here at Potomac. And then after that, I'll be heading out to Albany with some friends here for the men's invitational, the Governor's Bowl. That is at the end of January. Then at the end of February, you and me are going to head out, hopefully, to Chesapeake Curling Club.
Hopefully. Our
playing
good friends
the-
over in Chesapeake.
Playing the Del Marvelous double spiel. And then mid-March, we've got the Dykes, which is down in Charlotte this year. So
And the Dykes
is a 500 GNCC men's tournament, yeah.
just because the name sometimes throws people off.
Sure. It's the Francis Dykes. It's a 5 and under for men from the GNCC. There's also women's, the Elizabeth Childs. That's over Valentine's Day weekend. And that is
Always.
at
I don't know
Peachtree in Atlanta. And then there's a mixed, the Raymond Kaiser Memorial, and that is at Triangle, and that is, I think, a week or two after the Childs.
Yeah, that's pretty cool because those are every year. 5 and unders for the GNCC every year.
I think they're just trying to draw in,
I think so.
maybe touch red.
I mean, even if they touch the
Touch
red,
the
they'll
4
still
foot.
they'll still have third shot. I'm not sure that yellow that's in front of the tee line. I'm not sure from the camera what that is. They could, I mean, if they're light, that's okay too. If they just kind of close this lineup, that's not so bad because they're sitting 2. I think they'd like to get a few more points on the board. So it looks like they're calling for the guard. Looks like it's hanging out and a bit quick. So we'll see if it takes a little turn for them. There it goes. Nice guard. All right, so Deanne Rudd kind of taking a look here at what her options are, given that there's this long guard in the way now. I don't know. What would you do here, Paul?
They're Redstones, yeah.
They're Redstones, yeah. This is not Hammer, but this is Red's last rock.
I mean, could you promote the one on the, no, I see the guards there. Oh, you could
Yeah,
if you skinnied it.
there might be a line there. Yeah, it'd be tough.
And you could come with a lot of, well, you've got the backing of the other ones. You just don't want to roll over. And
Yeah, you could try the slight corner promote.
I think that's what they're looking
They're
at right now.
looking at some hit and rolls too. But you can't hit those too thin. You got to get a decent piece of the rock.
See, with that broom, like control weight maybe, is what they're thinking. Come over and.
They're still looking at it. They got a few different lines. Looking at maybe a corner promote on that outside red. On the right-hand side there. Let's see. That ice, it looks like, I don't know.
She hasn't put her broom
No,
up
she
yet.
hasn't yet. I think they're still thinking.
Maybe taking a look from the hack first. Okay, there's the broom. So maybe like a control, maybe hack weight hit.
Maybe. Off of the yellow, you think?
Yeah. Cross face, hit the corner, and then roll into that little pocket there in the right on the button.
We just had a few straight lines. I'm always a little concerned that the lines
Especially
out here will move
on
enough.
the edge, like during league play, during this
Well,
last
and
week.
t-
The
I
edges
mean,
have been
yeah,
really
today
straight.
here, these sheet B ran a bit straight on the sides. That looks to be moving a little bit. Sweeper's on, so we must be getting a little bit of movement. It's gonna take a bit of a roll.
Not a ton.
Not bad. I don't think it was quite what they wanted, but they've made it rather hard for yellow to do a whole lot at this point. Especially because that's now behind the yellow guard, so yellow can't quite use that to hit and roll in. I don't know if we have an update on D. Did you get the update on D? You have 1
Yep.
point. Yellow got 1 point.
Yep, it's 5-3 over there. Yep.
We have this cool controller that lets us look at all the sheets and all the ends and everything, but sometimes you can't quite see everything.
I think she's. How many stones we got?
This is Hammer.
I think they're trying to
Yep,
call a
this
guard.
is
or
Amanda Brockman's last stone, yellow's last stone.
Try to call a draw here, not a guard.
I
Sorry.
think they're trying to draw. All they have to do is grab the edge of the 4-foot circle there,
Let's put up the house quick.
which is always easy. All
Yep,
you have
yeah,
to do.
so the red's not touching the 4-foot.
No,
so.
it's not. So all they need is a draw to the 4-foot. Brian's a man of many talents.
Brian coming back with
Bar.
with the refreshments.
Skipping, commentating.
Speaking of Brian, welcome back.
Hi. You guys made a mess.
I know. Look at what we did.
Mom is not happy. The house is a mess.
Amanda came up just a bit short there.
I think she's happy with 2.
I would say, but yellow sits 2, which is not a terrible
So
result.
that, yeah, that gets them some points on the board in the first place. Yeah.
The comeback is on. 5-3.
Have we updated the rest of the
Everything
sheet?
else. Yep.
Yeah, good
But
job,
we are
guys.
so far ahead now.
We are.
It's really bonkers.
So one thing we were
This
wondering.
is also super fascinating because all of the teams here have the same result in their first game.
Right.
So sheets B and D are both 1-0,
Right.
and sheets A and C are both 0-1. So this is the time where it should start getting more evenly matched, and it doesn't look that way.
It does not.
There is a 4-1, a 5-2, 6-0 and a 5-3. 5-3 is, but the 5 they scored in one end. So anyways, that's my welcome back.
Your
Hi.
armchair.
How are you? Yeah, armchair quarterbacking.
Armchair skipping.
How you doing?
Armchair skipping is way easier than real skipping.
It's,
Especially when you have overhead cameras.
Yeah, I mean, I can be Russ Howard with the best of them.
So we were wondering.
I do at some point want to throw it down to Kathy Gauthier. Kathy Gauthier is on the ice.
On the ice.
We were wondering, Brian,
Yeah.
right after you left, if you
It's
think,
not my fault. What? Oh, sorry.
if you think with the fantasy curling, if they're going to go to, if you buy single players, so like you buy your lead, you buy your second.
That would be an interesting twist. Yeah, I like that idea. They do have. If you've ever done fantasy football, once the regular season of fantasy football is over, you can also start doing fantasy playoff football.
Yeah, I've never done
where it's a similar thing. You have a salary cap, and a lot of the strategy that goes into it is, do you think the guy that you're picking is going to make the Super Bowl?
So you've only picked once for the whole playoffs.
You pick once for the whole playoffs. So if you pick a guy who loses in the wild card game, you only get those amount of points.
Oh my gosh.
But if you pick a guy that goes to the Super Bowl, he gets the division round, he gets the conference round, he gets the Super Bowl. So he can get 3 games worth of points as opposed to the guy who lost in the wild card game and petered out, and you only get that many points, even though he was a stud in that one game.
Right.
The guy who played 3 games is most likely outscoring. So that's an interesting point, Paul. I like that idea. Maybe you should just suggest it to your buddy, since you know the guy who came up with the whole thing.
Hey, Bo. So we were talking about fantasy football instead of fantasy curling because we're really focused.
We're talking about both. No, we branched.
We
did branch off from fantasy curling. Fantasy curling, you have to buy teams, not individuals. Well, right now.
Right. And it would be actually fascinating to say, I want to have it would be interesting to see how you score that, though. I mean, that's the issue.
Yeah, I feel like you'd
you have
score
percentages and things like that. So do you give – I mean, you can't really give points to a lead for sweeping ability or anything.
Not yet.
You're mostly just going – like, leads are going to get 100% almost every time.
Right.
Like, you're close to 100% every time. If you looked at the finals of the Canada Cup that was just played last week, Ben Hebert and Brent Lang were both very close, if not 100%, for the tournament, or for the final, rather. So you're coming down to, you can't pick 4 leads because they're all going to score. They're going to come pretty close. You're picking a lead, a second, a vice, and a skip, right?
I mean, I would think you'd have to, do that. You'd have to pick each position.
And then maybe you can't pick from the same team.
Maybe. That'd be kind of cool to build like an international team.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Well, we all know who Lauren would pick for her men's third.
Every time.
If she could pick internationally.
Every time.
His name rhymes with...
He's not Swedish, is he?
I'm just waiting to see what you come up with now.
He's not Swedish, is he? I can't imagine.
Why not?
Why would I think that?
It's not Nicholas Adine. I'll just put that one up there.
Well, you said third.
Well, he doesn't throw third.
Yeah, I know.
There are, so I did actually, I have to share this. Since I was following the Columbus Curling Club's Twitter feed, and the Triangle Curling Club's Twitter feed. Triangle and Columbus have a Twitter feud, not feud, but like they have a back and forth. I'll just say that. It's
They're
fun.
active.
They are active Twitter users. And I believe that Triangle is actually at the Beers of Columbus. Like somebody from Triangle is at the Beers of Columbus.
Everywhere. They're here too.
And
they're like Iowa. They travel well.
They do travel
they
well.
Travel well. Hashtag travel well.
They are wonderful curlers.
And they posted a raffle prize from the Beers of Columbus Spiel, which was the Team Imes, who is from Columbus. I believe Mr. Imes is actually the Columbus Curling Twitter manager. And they had the Team Imes basket for the raffle, where they took the Men of Curling calendar and just cut out the Team Imes heads and pasted them onto the Men of Curling calendar faces. And then they had a bunch of stuff. They had a bunch of stuff in their basket that was similar to that, where they just cut out their faces and stuck them on some heartthrob's body.
Awesome.
It was amazing.
That's fantastic.
Are we talking about curling again? Oh, hi.
I
Hey,
guess.
nice hit.
Red's sitting 2 now. There we go.
Deanne Rudd, they're just, this is what I was saying earlier. If you have a team that can hit when you're ahead, that is a huge asset to have. They're just not leaving Amanda Brockman anything to play with. How did they manage to get that second one in last end? I left it.
Rolled.
Yeah, so it kind of did a little tick off one of
Yeah,
the
it was a
first.
cool little hit and roll.
Okay.
Yeah, a little hit. It was neat. And then they just protected.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to draw in, but a
They
little
were-
guard at that point's not so bad.
I honestly don't know how. Yeah, if they hadn't ticked in off of something, I don't know how they would have gotten the
It
two.
wasn't
anyway,
curling
so,
enough.
yeah.
I don't think they could have drawn. I think they're trying for a little tap back here.
They are. If they can manage to get it just a little bit off nose, tap it straight back into the house behind.
Looks good.
It's going to be shot rocks.
Very nice. Very nice.
You know, we have a replay we could look at for that.
They can
Oh,
manage
look
to
at
get
you,
it
Paul.
just a little bit off nose.
There it goes.
Tap
Paul
it
has a
straight
new
back
toy.
into the house.
Ken's made all these amazing things. It's really
And
cool.
it's going to be shot rocks.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. So Lori put on the soundtrack and behind us. There's a lot of Prince going on back there.
There is a lot of Prince.
Did you
going on.
realize that Prince's book, even though he passed away a few years ago, it's called The Beautiful Ones. I just got it in from the
Ooh,
library.
yeah?
Just came out. It's the
I didn't know he had one.
he started writing a memoir basically before he died because he was middle-aged like me, and kind of
So
had
old.
that thing where totally 45 getting
Oh
old.
man.
And he kind of had that thing where he was like, what everybody has to know how to be like me,
Yes.
which can't really be Prince. Sorry.
I don't think so.
So I looked through a little bit of it. He hand wrote part of his memoir, which they ended up typing out, thank God, because his handwriting is cursive, which is amazing, but I don't think anybody teaches cursive anymore. Do you
Actually,
like
I know
my
that,
son
I know
cannot
that they don't.
my
At least
son
not
cannot
Michigan.
write cursive.
No.
You ask him to sign his name and he writes block letters.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of pictures from his youth in there, and I say this because Prince is from Minnesota, and if Prince didn't know how to curl, I'd be shocked. I feel like Prince should have known
That's
how to
true.
curl somehow.
Probably.
Maybe
he had a curling club in his estate.
That would be amazing.
You know what would be cool is if Amazon built a curling club in their basement in Crystal City. That'd be pretty nice. I would probably curl there.
I'm not a huge fan
like
of the Amazon
10
being in
minutes
Crystal
from work.
City, but I would take it.
I don't know that anyone's a big fan of the Amazon in Crystal
Ah.
City.
So while you were talking, that was a really nice
It
promote
was a
there.
really nice promote.
Yeah,
Two
I mean, they're
nice
sitting
lined
two.
up yellows.
They have a chance here. They have hammer in this end. This is the
Deanne's
fifth
calling
end.
for Kristen to at least, it looks like pick off the top one and roll over. I don't know if she was looking for the double. I guess you
It's gonna
can't-
be
you
hard to
can't-
get by that
Yeah.
front red that you see just short of the rings
Yeah.
there, and actually make a double. So just happy with just getting one of them.
Yeah. Open it back up again, too.
Oh, and got a piece of the back one. Didn't quite get it out. I thought it would be pretty hard to actually make that take out. There was a good discussion in the Canada Cup in the ninth end of the Kubi Epping game.
Oh, yeah.
Where Kevin Cooey had 2 red rocks that were a little bit offset from each other, and Epping was sitting 1 behind, and they thought they could make the run back on one of the reds. I still don't think he could have actually made that shot if he actually hit it where he wanted to. I think it would have maybe ticked the other one over a little bit and would not have actually made
This
the
is
shot.
where it split the 2 reds
So
out,
he
right?
ended up hitting the front red, just ticking off the front red a little bit, rubbing his other one off, never actually touched the yellow at all, and all 3 of his reds that went spilling off to various corners of the rings did not actually make the shot. They thought they can make it if they did not touch that top red, and they had run the second red straight back. I ended up thinking the shot wasn't there. But they talked about it for so long. It's the craziest thing. Like here, we have no time constraints. In those situations, if you watch Ben Hebert throw his rocks, Kevin Cooey barely even puts the broom down, and Ben Hebert is out of the hack already. All of the leads on all of those teams know what they're going to be called for. They're going to be called for a guard, or they're going to be called for in the rings, and they know almost generally where the skip is going to put the broom, and so they're very prepared for where they're going to have to throw the shot.
I mean, I guess it all depends, too, when they come back from commercial, too, right?
But curling's not
They
controlled by
do have, as Lauren mentioned earlier, they do have that 1 minute between
so
an
nice.
advantage, where if you're the first rock thrown in the end, you don't have to worry about it. Your clock is not running. You're going to be able to throw it right away. But those leads will throw those rocks, and on the time clock, you will only see a few seconds at most run off the clock. And so you end up with Kevin Cooey talking about a shot for what seems like 5 minutes. I'm not
like
even kidding.
days. Oh my gosh.
It seems like forever that he's talking about this shot. But it's because he's banked up so much time from the leads and the seconds, throwing those shots so quickly that they come out of the hack and the clock has already stopped.
Yeah.
They haven't even run any time off the clock. If you look at one of those, just look at the first end of those games. When the skip comes up in the hack for their first shot, 38 minutes will start out. That's how much time they have with 10 end games. They will have 38 minutes on the clock to start. And when the skip comes up, there will still be over 36 minutes left. So less than 2 minutes for the 6 rocks, for your first six rocks, will have been thrown already. It's amazing. I still look at it and I don't know how it happens. We managed on our game earlier this week to just barely squeeze in the 8 ends within the hour and 52 minutes or whatever we're
still
allotted.
finished earlier than some other teams.
We finished earlier than some other teams, but it was like we just barely managed to get in under the shot clock.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty fun.
So we do have some scores. We haven't been paying attention. Yeah.
There are a lot of other things going on.
So sheet A.
Even though our sheet is almost done with this end, many of the other sheets have just finished the 4th end.
So sheet A, after 4, Team O'Connor took 2, so they are up 6-1 over Jersey Pinelands. Sheet C, Team Sharp took 1 in the 4th end, so now they have a point on the board, so they're down 6-1 to Blackhawk. Sheet D, Team Kirchner took 4 in the 4th, so now they are up 9-3 over Bemis Bees.
And back on sheet B.
So it's a nice
Looks
looking draw right here.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a beauty.
Stick. All right.
Give it a little
And
replay
back
there.
on sheet B.
So it's a nice
Looks like-
looking draw right here.
There.
Wow,
Substantially.
that is a beauty.
Stick.
Deanne
All right.
Rudd had a great draw
Her first
to
down, yeah.
cut,
Yeah.
to cut yellow right down. Sit shot.
That's a tough one to get to, too.
Oh,
I
man,
mean,
yeah.
There's a yellow guard out in front there, but that is a
Try to run it.
solid,
It's so long.
what is that, 12 feet away?
Yeah.
It's a long run back.
It's real long.
The ice that she just gave her is basically to freeze to that other yellow.
So another cool toys that Ken gave us. He gave us a chance to put names up, so he's uploaded everybody's names, and we're putting those in.
Which is also really helpful for us. So we can make sure, well, hopefully that we're saying the right names with the right people.
Yeah, some people have switched their order up. I don't know any teams that would have done that that played on Cheat 8 earlier today.
What are you talking about?
Lauren's team switched some names up, so it made it confusing for people.
A game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We love your comments, Bo.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, any game where Kevin Cooey has a lot of time at the end is, I don't know what
I don't
happened.
think he likes to end a game
No.
with like more than like 10 seconds on the clock. I think it just makes him angry. So he just runs the clock out.
Yeah. This one's coming in, and it's going to be
is
close.
coming,
It's just
coming.
a little short. It
Moves
is
to third position.
shot.
Yeah. Well, gives them something to work with. I guess if they, there's a guard in front of it though.
There is.
There is a
So
guard
now
in front of it, yeah.
the hard part is for
Real
them,
stacked up.
they have a double run back.
Yeah.
Is their only chance to get rid of that red.
Oh no, this is it. That was their last shot.
Oh, that was their last
That was
shot.
Yale's
Oh, yeah,
last
yeah,
shot.
sorry. So how is red going to get two now?
So yeah.
Maybe you're just happy given. That's a long way around that yellow
It
guard. You
is.
can see the yellow guard that she has to
She's actually standing
navigate
right in
out
front
on
of
the
it right
right
now.
side
Yeah.
there. That's what they're looking to maybe right next to her right arm there. There's a yellow guard. She has to kind of navigate around.
They're looking at a promote as well right now.
I don't know about that. I don't think
That's
that
a tight,
promotes.
that's a really tight spot. Yeah, I think that draw.
Hit the
I think
red
it's
and-
tough,
No.
but well, they were
They
looking
looked
at it
at it.
momentarily, but
I think they have to
tight.
play just
Yeah, you have to draw.
the out turn draw to work their way.
oh yeah, we
into
did
the-
screw up the order. It's because we have so many Lauras on our team.
Who screwed up? Whatever.
We swapped our so Laura Yee is throwing third, but Laura Hewer
Oh.
is vicing. So, and they're both named Laura. So we didn't help with the confusion.
You're all the same. Whatever. If you're not Courtney, you're Laura.
Yeah, exactly.
How
Whatever,
you
I'll
how
just
you
change
doing,
my
Laura?
name.
You
I'll just
Luthi?
change my name.
So we'll watch this shot and I'll tell a little story again. They are going to play that out turn draw.
Yeah, they gave
They
an
have to
awful
get
lot
her-
of ice for it.
They have to get around the yellow.
They do.
They're sweeping hard. It's got room.
It does.
It has to get
I don't-
all
I
the
just
way
don't know if
back
it's
to
gonna
full
cut under.
4, and
Yeah.
it's got to come all the way back. It's not gonna be able to come back.
Oh, that was quick. I didn't realize how fast it was.
So that'll just be a single point for Deanne Rudd. She's happy with that. 6-2 lead now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep, 6-2.
6-2 after 5 ends of play. So the mixed team that we were talking about earlier,
Yes.
Lauren, was Laura Yee was vicing for that team, and you were playing lead. And Nick Smith was playing second. Hi, Nick Smith, playing in Columbus this weekend.
If he's listening.
Did you change that?
We've
Overhead?
changed
Yep,
the thing.
we got everything going. I got you here,
You
Brian.
got to hit the done then,
Oh,
man.
I'm sorry.
Oh, is it got a reminder
So
button?
Nick's,
Yeah.
yeah, it does. It
Idiot-proof
has a
now.
it has a nagging thing over there. So Nick Smith was playing second. So when Nick Smith would actually throw the rocks, and Laura and Lauren, I was trying to get them to directionally sweep. So how do you call for Laura and Lauren to actually sweep directionally? Like, which person do you want to sweep? So I would say Yee. And
So
then
you-
one time I actually said Luthi. And she's like, Lauren looked up at me like, was who?
I was like, who's that? I don't know
She
who
had
that
no
is.
idea that her last name was Luthi.
Nope, not a clue.
Total newlywed biff there.
Not even. That's
Paul's
the embarrassing
looking
part.
at me like, what are you talking about?
It's not even.
She loves me.
It's embarrassing.
We're married. It's fine.
Been married for so
How
long.
long have you guys been married?
8.5 years?
No. Yeah, 8.5 years.
I should know by now.
You would think.
Okay, this is Pat O'Donnell now. They got screwed up a little bit.
There you go. I don't blame you. It was
And here's the cool part. We can actually see stones, and it blinks.
Ooh,
Oh.
fancy.
I know.
Lots of sweep. Oh,
This
that
is all
stone
the stuff
cutting.
that.
Did that pick? That was weird.
It lost
that's
handle.
That
Yeah, look
stone
at it go
moved
the other
a
way.
heck of a lot.
It's going the opposite way. Look at that. That's no fun.
So as we mentioned, we are well ahead of all of the other sheets.
They're still throwing,
Yeah,
let's see.
There's still
Vice
like
rocks, Vice
skip,
rocks.
there are a lot of
Skip-
rocks left
yeah.
in
Vice
many
rocks,
of the other
skip
sheets
rocks,
over here.
and skip rocks.
Yep. So we will let you know what happens with all of those sheets
And this
shortly.
is Tracy Schickle. So there we go. We got the names right here.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh, Rob,
Uh-oh. Oh, what did you do? You spilled the beer. Party foul.
How was that so full?
We discovered Brian's not drinking his beer fast enough. He'll work on that.
Shot into the house here.
Yeah, draw right to the button. I do not have an Ava story.
Here we have Pat O'Donnell throwing her second lead stone.
Oh, yeah.
Brian off microphone talking about Mamma Mia, the musical.
This is, by the way, in case you forgot, this is curling after dark.
It's like after
Welcome.
4:30, so of course it's currently
Oh,
after
yeah.
dark.
Doesn't take much. It is currently 10:30 here Eastern time.
That was a really nice tap back, though.
Yeah.
It was.
Let's replay that.
Good God, Paul. This is Paul has
By
a
the way,
replay
in
for
case you
every
forgot.
shot now. This is curling after
He's a little replay upset. You're going to miss the shot if you let this replay. It's
Welcome.
like after 4:30, so of course it's currently
Oh,
after
yeah.
dark.
See? And then we'll come back and oh look, the stone's being delivered already.
Yeah,
Look
look
at
at
your
that.
timing there. Almost missed the post.
Except that it thinks it's
This is
We're
actually
trying to
a
keep
really
this
nice.
straight. Yeah.
really
Ooh,
nice
ooh,
shot
hold
here.
on, hold on. Ugh.
oh
That's
but
okay.
jammed.
That's not too bad.
Jam, but it's still sitting shot rock.
Yeah. I think they have some room to play too. So
A lot of times, even though you make a jam, in this case, they set up a jam right back. So you
True.
never know.
So you
But we're
playing-
right. Unfortunately, I don't want to like really criticize anybody, but Cassie is the one they did not want to throw hits in that second end. Let's see how she does here. Oh, that looked a lot smoother.
looks really
that looks
nice.
nice. That's on the outside side of the
Really
rock, which is where you
nice.
want it to be.
Ooh, ooh, that cut over
Oh,
really
it's
hard.
over curling a little. Oh,
Sweep hard,
man.
sweep, sweep, sweep.
Oh, no, 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 no.
And what did I
On
say
top?
about? See, it's the jinx of Brian. Oh, no.
How dare you?
Oh no, but they're actually. I
It's
take
not
that
bad.
back.
No, they're
Let's
covered
see.
now.
They actually rolled to a perfect position.
They did roll to a very nice spot.
So Cassie
good
made a
plan B.
nice little. Even though it jammed, it made a nice roll behind the guard. So
Hack weight.
you have to remember that yellow Amanda Brockman has hammer in this end. So even if who is this? This is Jane Stayer
Yes.
makes this hit. She's still gonna have stuff to draw behind, or maybe draw to.
It's like they're just gonna catch a
Ooh,
little
just
piece
caught
of the
a
guard.
piece.
Yeah.
That's one of those situations where
frustrating.
if you make the shot, it's great, but when you miss it just by just a hair there, you either wanted to really take out that guard hard and let it curl a little more, or really, really make the shot.
House is definitely
Okay,
a
so-
lot cleaner now.
So I have to mention Amanda right there moved the broom at the last second for poor Cassie.
Aw.
She was ready to throw, and Amanda moved the broom at the last second, so she reset. Perfect. That is the way to go. If your skip moves the broom and you're not you saw that and you weren't actually aiming at the broom, reset yourself, get yourself set again. This is coming down. It's just got to
Ooh, hard,
get
hard,
all the
hard.
way into the 8-foot.
Gotta sweep this hard.
Oh, a little bit short, just a little bit short on weight, but
That's
it's
okay.
good line.
Yeah. I think it's in a good spot for them, though.
I mean, this is one of those ones where you have that yellow rock over there on, as you guys are looking at it. It's on the right side of the screen.
I think they're trying for the
They're
the
taunting
halfway-
them. They're trying to taunt them. Like, please, go ahead, hit this one. Maybe you'll tick that red again.
Right.
Maybe you'll, like, not even make it at all. Because now you have 2 guards out there. You have a red guard on the one side and a yellow guard on the other side.
Ooh, it's running
And-
straight.
That was a fair bit of weight, too.
It's going to, it
Ooh.
clears and it makes it by everything. Oh,
Little
no,
quick.
it ticked it
Just
under the guard a
quick,
little more.
yeah.
This is actually a really, really good setup for Amanda Brockman. She has 2 guards that are just short of the rings that she can use, and she's sitting 1. She's down by 4. She needs a few points, and she's just going to try to put another one in the house somewhere and hope that she can use it later. So we're just starting to get the scores in from the other sheets here.
Yeah, so
We will update you shortly.
Sheet C, yellow just took 2 in the 5th.
2 for Team Sharp.
There you go.
That closes the
And-
gap to 6-3.
Sheet D, Kirchner took 1 in the 10th. Stole 1 in the 10th.
1 in the 10th.
Sorry.
1 in the 5th.
So 1 in the 5th
It's
to sit 10.
10
Oh my gosh.
10-3
I
lead.
can't read my own scoreboards.
Sheet A is still going on over there.
Snap
They are
time.
the they have the matching T-shirts over there, so I'm not
They
going to
do.
say anything about that. They even if they're playing a little bit slow, they have matching T-shirts.
They do have
and I'm
matching
fine with that.
T-shirts. And this is the last draw, so you're not, at this point, thankfully, you're not keeping
You're not-
anybody else
yeah,
late
you're
here at
not-
night.
You're not keeping anybody here late. There are, let's see, who's not that many people here. It's only Friday.
It's only Friday.
I imagine tomorrow,
We all know the party's on Saturday.
Saturday night, once teams have been eliminated, you're going to start seeing more people hanging around later. So hit attempt here from Deanne Rudd and clears the guard and rolls over. If they can somehow manage to get rid of that yellow in the back, Amanda Brockman's in deep trouble.
That would be a lot of trouble.
It would be.
So she wants a
So-
guard here, right?
Well, no, so in the
A
rings,
guard
though,
slash in the rings, a
yeah.
little bit, like they don't want it too deep.
Yeah. I mean, but if they get full 8, they're sitting 2. I think they gotta go.
It's coming over good. I mean,
That's not a bad spot.
that's maybe not the best, but it's one of those spots where it tempts you to go after that yellow in the rings. Maybe you end up ticking that yellow guard, rubbing him in. I would have liked to be a little bit heavier, just to be in the rings and counting somewhere. But
There are so many rocks in play on sheet A.
I
almost all of
I
them.
just noticed I have to break in here. Sorry. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Over on Sheet C, we also have coordinating outfits from the yellow team. Yellow team on Sheet C is Team Sharp. They all have matching black skirts
And fun
Ah.
leggings.
and
Oh,
fun
they
leggings.
got some
Yeah,
fun leggings.
it's a little bit too hard to tell from where we're sitting what are actually on the leggings, but they all have the matching black skirts as well. So Blackhawk Curling Club has the matching white jackets, and Team Sharp has the matching black skirts.
My team's got to step it up.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have at least 3 of you have the
We all have it
the
now.
new Potomac
We have
Curling
our
Club
new
jerseys
Well, it's not official.
slash jackets. I'm not telling. We're not going there. They're awesome. And you see Andrea Dubin walking back right there with the Potomac Curling Club.
Red's looking for this hit. They're sweeping hard to clear the guard. Oh, they just took a
ticked
tick.
it. I told you,
So
it's
frustrating.
tempting.
So
You see it
frustrating.
there. It's open. You think you can make it. So now, I mean, honestly, Amanda Brockman has to get more rocks in the house. She has to figure out, she has to score a bunch of points now. This is her chance to score at least 2, if not 3.
I feel like this would be an opportune moment to maybe tick off that center stone and roll 2 in. Oh, though I don't know if you could get far enough to
Yeah,
outcount that red one.
it's pretty far. The problem is
Yeah.
the red that's in the back 8
Yeah,
is
it's causing trouble.
Honestly, I think the best shot. I think this is what she's lining up for almost. She's throwing the shot that will go if it's a guard. If it's guard weight, it will stop in the hole and
Right.
guard that rock. If it's a little bit heavy, maybe it curls behind that yellow center guard and ends up sitting 2. So this is one of those nice shots where you have the option and you kind of leave it up to your sweepers. Hey guys, if you think it's a little heavy, just let us know early and we'll make sure we get by that front guard. Sit 2. Sitting 2 is sometimes as good as a guard.
Sheet A had an update. Yellow scored 1 in the 5th. So that's 1 for Team O'Connor. Brings the score to 7-1 going into the 6th end here.
So the shot call, based on where she's holding her broom right now, was that guard.
But she's shaking her head.
She's shaking her head,
Tells
but
me
it's
she's-
actually pretty good.
It is moving over
This
here.
is a perfect guard. It's
I think
right
a little,
there.
I think it
It's
needs a bit
right
of a
in that
sweep.
hole.
I think it needs a sweep.
It does not need anything. It's perfect.
That's a good shot.
Difference of opinion from a front
A
end
lead
player
versus Well, I guess
If they had swept it, it would have overcurled and it would have been out of the way. They might have had a hole. Now there's no
true.
hole there.
It's true.
So what does she do? Let's throw it out to listeners. You got how many of your listeners are out there?
We have 27 listeners.
27. You have a 6-2 lead and you're red. What are you doing? That's the question. There's not really any holes. I'm happy with forcing them to 1 at this
Yeah.
point. So where do you put the rock that you think is going to be the easiest shot where yellow can possibly score 2? To me, that's where they're holding the broom. It's where all those yellows are on the left side of the sheet in the house. So
any of the promotes.
any of those
Yeah.
promotes that you're looking at over there, you either have a straight draw through the hole over there or you have a tap. Anything that's your yellows, she's getting a little bit greedy, I think. She's looking at playing that run back and basically trying to say, I'm going to sit 2. Let's see how it works out. A little inside, did not make that shot. So now it's definitely you're playing on the side with all your yellows over there for Amanda Brockman,
But when
trying to
she-
get another
yeah.
one in.
When she hit that, though, she popped one of the yellows over and closed off another one of the holes.
She did. So she kind of has to play the furthest to the side yellow
Yeah.
tap is, I think, the shot. There's no hole to draw through now. She has to tap that yellow up into basically full 12. Hey, Lauren,
Yes.
won't you take me to Funky Town?
Dancing around is really good for audio
That's
feeds.
super awesome for audio feeds where you can't see us at all.
In fact, I think that's the preferred mode, is that you can't see us at all.
Thank God.
So, Brian, what other spiels are you playing this year?
I'm only playing the internal big spiel.
Ah,
I have no idea who I'm playing with, so that should be fun.
I don't either. I just signed up.
You may be playing with me
That
for
would
all
be
I know. I don't know. It is Jimmy Fallon is nope. That's gonna be
Ooh, that looks a bit
That's
late.
late.
Ooh, that looks a lot late.
3 sweepers on it,
See, I'm
which
not wrong. You
is
can sweep
not a
this
good
one.
side.
No.
Side. No.
Ooh. Can they? Can they tap this yellow just enough?
Not quite.
Not quite.
They
Oof.
tried.
Ouch.
So that'll just be a score of 1 for Amanda Brockman, closing the gap to 6-3 with 2 ends remaining. And let's see. There are literally so many rocks left remaining on the other sheets. I'm not even going to count.
No,
They're
it's not worth it.
so far ahead.
Eventually, there will be more scores.
For those playing at home, for pace of play purposes, this is awesome. Do all of the things that they are doing.
On
Be
B.
ready to throw your rock when it is your turn. I can't tell you how many times when I'm playing in. So I play in. Right now I'm only playing in 2 leagues in our curling club. I play in the competitive league, which is Capital League.
Hey, me too.
With you.
That's all of us.
Go figure. And Paul is also playing in that league as well, on a different team.
On a different team.
No.
Wah, wah. I tried to recruit him,
We tried.
but he had already signed up
He'd
for
already
somebody
committed
else,
to another team, and he was just too good to defer.
and he is now regretting that decision because we are better than him.
Well, we don't know. We've never played against them. But we
we're
are in a higher bracket.
We are currently well ahead of him in the standings. And I also play in Pizza League, which is the decidedly
Love
not
Pizza League.
competitive,
Not competitive.
very new curlers.
But pizza.
But there is pizza at the end of it. And so when I play in the Pizza League, I am often very, very frustrated by people standing around and not realizing it's their turn, or I don't even know. I'm happy that they have my rock ready for me when I go down and I'm the skip,
Right.
which is pretty awesome, honestly. But this game, clearly well ahead of all of the other games. The skips are making very fast and firm decisions. They're putting the broom down and saying, I want it here, throw it. Even if their team is not making the shot necessarily, they have an alternative in mind.
Mm-hmm.
They're ready to go and not sitting around dithering and wondering like Kevin Cooey, well, what if some random, lightning strike comes down through the middle of the curling sheet and halves the sheet in half, and all of a sudden we're not shot anymore.
Then what would I do?
Then what would I do? I often really do feel like that's what he
I think
is.
so.
He
And
will
he often
sit there
doesn't change his mind from whatever his first or second decision was.
and he will throw the rock, and Ben Hebert will think it needs to be swept like hell, and Kevin Cooey will tell him no, and they will the Vice will be saying sweep, and
BJ?
PJ Neufeld will be saying sweep, and Kevin Cooey still makes the damn shot. He always makes the shot.
Ooh, they got right around the guard for that one.
He did.
That's a great shot.
Peeled it
They
out.
did and picked it
That
out.
was awesome.
You know what that'd be a great shot for?
A replay. Show us the
Cooey's
replay,
always
Paul.
the damn shot.
He always makes the shot.
Ooh, they got right around the guard for that one.
He did.
That's a great shot.
Peeled it
They
out.
did and picked
That
it out. That is exactly what I was
Yeah, that'd
talking
be a
about
great
earlier
shot.
in the game. I'm going to go back. Every time I actually talk about curling, I'm going to go back to what I talked about. The lead throwing a takeout.
There you go.
That's
very nice.
amazing.
There you
If
go.
you have a lead and your lead can throw takeouts, you are in good shape. So that was another great takeout by Tracy Schickel. And that shows me how much I was just drinking, because that was Tracy Schickel.
Curling after dark. Curling after
Cool, next part.
Curling after dark, it's 10:46 Eastern time.
So I didn't realize how much pace of play bothered me until I started playing faster. And then I was like, wow, that is really slow. And I feel bad now.
Lauren, do you think that's because of the doubles play that you've done?
Oh my gosh, doubles is so fast.
Doubles is so fast.
Doubles is just call the shot, go through it. Call the shot,
Yeah.
go through it. Call the shot, go through it.
So, Brian,
If you ever have somebody that plays slow in doubles,
Oh.
I don't even know
It gets so
what
cold.
I would do. Yeah.
It's so cold.
So Brian, looks like they're peeling the guard here. Why do you want to peel the guard in this situation?
So you have the hammer. You have a 3-point lead. and you probably didn't think you could get to that yellow rock, right? So in a situation when you have a 3-point lead, you want to keep the center open so that your skip has a shot at the end. Your shot at the end, that rock that's the yellow rock, is only in the 8-foot. Guards are bad for you if you're trying to draw, right? So I guarantee you that they're going to put that guard back right now because it's only the second rock. So as a skip, you want to keep the center clean, the center line clean. You want to have a draw to the 4-foot at the end, assuming that you are a good skip. I was talking to somebody about this earlier. It's the shot that you are comfortable with. So this was not a great guard. So you have the option. You can, like, some of the better world men's teams will peel that guard anyways, even though that yellow rock is totally accessible. But they are just going to hit that yellow rock that's actually in the house if they can,
maybe.
or they can
Or they
peel
can
the
peel,
guard,
which is
which
okay
is
too.
totally fine too.
Oh, you got a nice peel.
That's that's a professional play right there.
Right there.
You're peeling the guard.
Good plan Bs.
Because you're ahead by 3 and there's only 2 ends left. You think even if they steal
And they have
one,
hammer.
even if they steal one, you have hammer and you're up 2. It's going to be really, really hard for them to steal 2 against you in the last end. So the only way that they're stealing more than 1 against you now is if they have guards and you can't make that last draw. So if they keep making draws and you keep making guards and you keep making the hits, at most they're going to steal 1 off of you. If you try to go after that one that's in the house and miss it and you leave the guard and then all of a sudden they draw again and now they're sitting 2 and they have a guard, then they're stealing 2 and you really, really messed up. So here's another situation where they actually threw that guard in a really good spot because it's on the side of the center line where it tempts you to go after the one that's in the house, but you could maybe come a little close to that yellow guard and jam it into that red in the back, and who knows what, I'm jinxing it right now.
You are.
The jinx of the Brian right now.
Gosh.
So they're just close enough that you're tempted to go after that one, but the shot is just to peel the guard.
It looks like
And this
they're
is a
gonna peel the
really, really
guard.
downweight hit.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
that you have to
They're
roll that
hitting the
one
guard
off
for
once they
sure.
hit it, though.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't hit the red like I said. Oh, God, I'm
Really?
sorry. I'm really
Really?
sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Please don't call our game tomorrow. You can call it from home.
You're welcome because I will not be here. I will be at the Gaylord Hotel at National Harbor tomorrow.
Ooh,
Going
that's
for
a
like
fan-
the
Oh, it's
the
all
ice.
decked out for Christmas too.
It is decked out for Christmas. I'm not there for any of that.
Now you're there for dancing, right?
I'm there for Irish dancing.
Yes.
My daughter is an Irish dancer.
I mean, you don't put on the wig. I'm sure it would fit.
I would look terrible in that. I'll show you. I don't think we can have a good way to share this with anybody. I'll show you what my daughter looks like if I can find it. Nope, that's not a good one.
So yellow placed another excellent guard
That's a nice
in
tight
front of
guard,
their
yeah.
stone. Really lined up nicely now, making it pretty hard for Deanne to get around behind. What are they looking at? Kind of debating right now.
All right. Okay, now, ladies. Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. We've switched from ABBA to Outcast for those playing along at home.
This is from when we were in high school.
Yes, it was.
Oh, God.
'Cause
Kill
we're
me
ancient.
now.
You're more ancient.
I'm so ancient.
Music has that weird time warp where you're
Oh,
like,
it
wow, I know
does.
that song, except it was from like 1998. You think it was like 3 years ago. So red ends up running
Shaking
back
like
the
a
yellow guard,
Polaroid picture.
which are real again. So people know what Polaroids
My
are.
my
again.
daughter actually asked for that for Christmas. She has
Oh my gosh.
she has one of those Polaroid cameras already, and she asked for more film for it. Apparently, it's retro. It's hip now.
It's so hip.
So yellow's sitting 2. This is great for yellow because they have a red guard somehow. This
So red
draw
ran
is-
back the yellow guard into the yellow shot stone.
So that's my daughter
Oh
right there.
my gosh.
She has an enormous wig
That is
on.
impressive hair. I know that her hair is not that
Yeah,
big.
it is not that big at all.
Well, you guys. So just sorry to interrupt, but it looks
Nope.
like sheet D shook.
Oh, they're done.
They
Yep.
did
Oh.
not hang a score. It looks like they had a final there in the 6th end.
You interrupted for curling. That's what you're supposed
Kind
to
of
do.
important, yeah.
That's worked.
We'll have some more scores here soon. C's on the
Curling
7th
after
end.
dark.
A is on the finishing up the 6th end, so we'll have more scores. Anyways, your picture.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah. I mean, this is a really good situation for. This is probably the best thing that Amanda Brockman could go for. She is now sitting 2 with her first skip rock, with the potential to sit 3. Looks like she's going out far enough that she's trying to sit 3. Just draw another one in because the one that you have in the top 8 is protected by a yellow or a red guard that clearly was not meant to be there.
No, it was not. That was, I believe, intended to be a peel. But it was not. It's the final countdown.
In
It
case
is
you
the
were
final
wondering, it is
countdown.
the final countdown. Europe. Fun story about Europe
Their country.
How did
yeah.
that come? How did you get Europe out of that?
because that's the name of the
Ooh.
band.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, it's just
Ooh,
going a
too
little
heavy.
too far.
Oh.
Oh,
We had a few of those.
yeah.
I understand. that
Europe
name.
is the name of the band that sings Final Countdown.
Yeah, I got that. I'm catching up.
Europe, when they were most popular,
Mhm.
would play Final Countdown not only as their opener, but also as their last song, because that is how much of a one-hit wonder they were.
You're saying sheet C?
Yeah, sheet C.
Sheet C 1 in the 6
Yeah.
for Blackhawk Curling Club of Wisconsin. Brings the score to 7 to
3.
3. I couldn't see the scoreboard for a second.
I can see it.
We're on the
It's 3.
Hammerstone on A, so we'll have a score
All right,
there
we'll have a
soon.
score there soon too.
Currently, yellow is sitting 1. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum.
So red's gonna try this draw too.
discussing your playlist. We've been discussing your playlist on the broadcast. It was like all Prince earlier, and then
Ooh, what a draw.
Right into the 4-foot, yeah, the back 4.
Dan Rudd nails a draw right to the back of the tee line there.
oof.
That's gonna cause some trouble.
So, as much as you were hoping that Amanda Brockman was going to be able to pull something out here, that's just like a dagger right
That
there.
is- yeah.
Steve Buckantz, Washington Wizards announcer, whenever the very rarely the Wizards would make a basket to actually like ice the game, would say dagger, and we have handshakes over on sheet A. So there's a dagger right there. Yellow, it looks like, scored the single to go up 8-1, and
the
so
six.
Team O'Connor
That is all.
takes the
done.
win over Jersey Pinelands. So
So-
we have another final
Yeah.
there.
Wayne Larrabee, the announcer of the Green Bay Packers, does that too. Whenever there's he goes, "That's your dagger."
Yeah, dagger.
So Amanda Brockman here with her last shot. She's gonna try to draw to the other side.
This is her Hail Mary
This is.
as we're going with
This
the
is a
football.
hero draw.
She's got to get that one into the full 4-foot. That looks
Ooh, sweepers
really
are all
light.
over it.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
So
Oh.
Deanne Rudd's going to have
Tough,
a
tough.
draw for 2.
Mhm.
She's going to play the same. This is a veteran move right here. She's playing the same ice that she just threw that last draw. She could very easily go to the other side and have possibly more of the forefoot to draw to, but she knows what she just threw on this side. She knows she can make it. All she has to do is be full 8,
Yeah.
and she has the broom basically in the exact same spot as she just threw. She makes the 2, and most likely we're going to have handshakes. Even if she doesn't make it, it's a 4-point lead. It's not the end of the world. It's looking pretty good.
Looks pretty
Well
good.
by-
It's moving quick.
Oh,
it's moving quick.
I thought it was well by the guard.
There it
It's
is. Yep,
just
it's
by
by.
the guard.
Oh, a little faster than they expected.
A little faster, and just taps that one back a little too far. It was a little
Still
heavy.
one.
Good call. So a 7-3 lead for Deanne Rudd from Philly and Bucks. It looks like they are
They are
going
coming
to
back
throw
for the
them
8th.
back. Last game of the night, 11 o'clock. There are only 2 games left going on. The games on sheet A and D finished early. Team Kirchner won over on sheet D, and Team O'Connor won over on sheet A. There are still a ton of rocks to go on sheet C. So I'm not even going to tell you what's going on over there. You can kind of see on the corner of your view over there the view of the Blackhawk Curling Club white jackets.
There's still 26 people hanging with us.
Yeah.
That was too heavy. Or no, they threw that through.
They threw that through.
Yeah.
That was definitely. Deanne Rudd said we have a 4-point lead. We do not want any rocks in play. So we are just going to throw it right through.
They're going to call for a corner guard here, yeah?
Yes, I would assume so. That's a good corner guard. You got to make sure it's over.
Uh-oh.
It did not make it over. It took a turn hard at the end. I honestly thought that was over when they let it go. Which means that Deanne Rudd can just throw it through again. Strategy, Paul. Super high-end strategy. You're up by 4. No rocks in play. Throw it through.
I'm just a meathead front end player. I just sweep. When
Shut
I'm
up
told
and
to.
sweep. Shut up and sweep. Paul is the meatheadiest of meathead curlers because he also plays hockey.
Well, I could say that, except that it's only like once a month right now because of the horrible scheduling.
Well, I mean, but you're the beer league hockey guy, right? Like you're not.
Oh no, yeah.
You're not trying to be competitive.
Oh no,
or
I'm
anything.
terrible. I'll admit that.
There were some guys over in the we curl adjacent to the Gardens Ice House, and there were some guys over there that I think would absolutely kill Paul if they actually touched him on their hits, on their takeouts. The hockey players are throwing takeouts on Paul, and there were some large men over there, is all I'm saying. Which is probably because it was only 10 o'clock at night, and so it wasn't the. When was the last time you actually curled, or when you actually played hockey? What was your start time of your hockey game?
10:40, and it was
10:40.
It was like a week and a half ago. Yeah.
Exactly. So these guys probably started at 9 o'clock, so they're the prime time hockey players. They have the big bucks over there.
Play the tick shot here.
They were trying to play a tick shot. It's not working out.
That's not.
It's not so good. Not so bueno.
Oh, sticks around. Saves him from the. I don't know. What
No, that's not where they were.
Say-
That was terrible because it
Right.
was red that was trying to throw
Right.
a kick shot, and
No,
the
right.
yellow sticks around. That's bad. That's bad, Lauren.
It would
Catch up.
It would
Catch
have
up.
been better. What I was saying is it would have been better had they just run the yellow out. They could just put it back and forget this ever
That would, yeah. Because then Team Brockman would have to try to somehow tap that yellow in, but now they made the shot for them, and now they have a chance to sit 2 when they're down by 4. Whoa, that picked. That picked.
We had some picky stuff earlier too.
And it reverse handle, and it's gonna miss. No, it almost.
No, it'll still, yeah.
It almost picked so hard that it missed the guard. That was terrible. So this is what I like when I actually talked about curling early in the game, and it comes back, and it actually makes
You're
sense.
right.
So we are late in the game. The ice is wearing down. All the pebble is gone, and all of the stuff that falls off of your jacket or your dog hairs or whatever it is are
Gripper
all
stuff.
coming off, and they're just falling on the ice, and sometimes random stuff happens. So they're like, it was coming down, it was looking good, and then all of a sudden it took a turn all the way over. And this is also a huge difference between like our curling ice versus professional curling ice. If you tried to throw, let's watch Cassie right here throw this rock. If you try to throw the handle that she just threw on the ice that Canada plays on, that thing is not going to do the same thing that theirs are. They're going to spin that rock so much more, and it's going to have so much more handle. She actually threw a pretty good handle on that one. That
great
was
rock.
actually really nice. But the difference between did it make it? No, it just
It
did
didn't
not
bite,
quite
no.
make it to the.
Just short.
It's going to be close enough though that Deanna is going to probably take that out and have the plan B be to peel out the center guard. So I would
Yeah.
put this pretty tight.
Or peel out that backstone. Maybe.
We're just getting rid of some kind of yellow.
Yeah.
So the Canadian ice, you saw them if you watched the Canada Cup. They had the draw to the button was on the edge of the 12-foot. We have it
Gosh.
maybe on the edge of the 8-foot sometimes.
Sometimes.
It just curls so much, but it doesn't curl unless you throw the right weight. It's very weight sensitive. These rocks are much less sensitive to that, but they're very sensitive to, like, if you were trying to throw that shot on a Curling Canada ice rink and you did not have the handle, I'm talking to you, Jeremy Singer, did not have the handle on the rock, it's going to completely, you throw it to the edge of the 8-foot, it's going to end up on the other edge of the 8-foot,
Yeah.
the opposite side. It's amazing how different.
Well,
I don't
theirs is
even
so
know how they practice
No, I don't
for
know.
some of these
I don't
things. Because you will watch like a Rachel Homan talk about how she's even throwing a hit, and they will go down there and they will say not only how hard are you going to throw it, but how are you going to throw it? And she will say, I'm going to throw it straight through. So she's going to throw like a spinner that goes straight through the broom, and the rock she's expecting to go straight down the ice the whole way. Or she will say, I'm going to throw control, and she's going to throw just like a normal release where she expects it to curl a little bit. Totally different from what we have here. So Deanne Rudd is still trying. Amanda Brockman's team made a really nice shot there to sit 2. So Deanne Rudd is just trying to get rid of that rock, and a little bit wide and going to hit it and got to get it out, and she does. So as long as they keep doing what they're doing, they are going to be fine. They have looks like 3 rocks remaining to throw, and all of them have to actually count for scoring. The plus side for Amanda Brockman is they have a really, really nice center guard that they can draw around.
That looks a little bit quick. Maybe a little bit more than a little bit. Ooh, they really need this rock
Yeah.
to stick around.
It's staying
Well,
around.
they need the back
They'll
one to
be
stick around
two.
too. There
They'll
they
be
go.
two.
Yeah, it's okay.
So Deanne with her first of 2. This is the spot where if you miss, you need to miss and peel the guard. You can't miss it wide.
Yeah.
This is why the skips get paid the big bucks.
This is why you get paid the big bucks.
You look at it and you look at that rock and you say, I got this. This is no problem. And then you kind of look at that guard and you're like, oh, that guard is kind of in the way a little bit. Look at that guard a little bit on the left. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about that one. I don't want to hit that guard. Just as long as you don't throw it wide, you hit that guard, you peel it, and you make them. That doesn't matter. Like, they need 4 to tie. Even if you peel that guard, you're fine. They seem to think it's okay, and now they're up. And that's a good shot,
Yep.
and that's going to be the game right there.
That's it.
Very nicely done by Deanne Rudd. Okay, and now they're up. And there's handshakes. All right, very well done. And that's a good
was well
shot,
fought,
and
right
that's
to the
going to
end.
be the game right there.
That's it.
Very nicely done. It was, and they realized now, everybody realizes they ran out of rocks. So Deanne Rudd is going to take the win there. So they will continue on in the first event. I think that's down to the quarterfinals now.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we
So
can
for
switch
those
over
of
to-
you tuning in tomorrow, spoiler alert, Paul is going to be back tomorrow.
I will.
What time are you going to be back tomorrow, Paul?
11:30. Well, yeah, 11:30.
11:30 back in the A event for Team Shaw, which is
Well-
Laura, Lauren, and not Laura are going to be playing back in the A event.
Oh,
Paul's going to do the broadcast
We will-
with, who are you broadcasting with, Paul?
Luke
With Luke Thomason.
Thomason. We were gonna switch to C, but they just hung the score.
And
go up
it's a 9
8
to
to
3.
3.
Yeah, it looks
9
like
to 3.
9, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I put 1 in. 9 to 3.
And handshakes.
And they shook
Yeah.
hands.
And
so
handshakes.
that's final on
So-
all sheets here.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's quick.
Blackhawk won that game.
So as much as we were ahead on B, we ended up being one of the last games.
Even with everybody else, yeah. There you go. All right, so you have a preview tomorrow. A event
Dun, dun.
quarterfinals. I don't know, who are you guys playing?
I don't know.
Hold on, we can pull that up.
The game hadn't finished when we got off the ice.
Lauren just said, I don't care. We're going to crush them anyway.
Sure.
Whatever.
Look at the draw.
Look at the
Yeah.
draw.
Paul's way more organized than I am.
Firm Ender. Team Firm
Yes,
Ender.
Team Firm Ender.
Team Firmender is from Philadelphia Plainfield. The skip is Janine Firmender. The vice is Kelly Giddis. The second is Krista Keister, and the lead is Charlotte Clark.
Yeah, so they beat a team from the juniors from Potomac earlier.
They did, yes.
Diana Black and Odessa
Dessa
Hauer.
Howrah?
I didn't catch who else was on
Jane
the team. Sorry.
Kaplinsky
Yeah.
and
They have a split team too.
they do have a split
Yeah.
team. I can't remember who their vice is right now.
So
forgotten her
they,
name. I'm
but
so
that was
sorry.
that was a good win for them because that's a, even though they're juniors, they're a strong team that's
They are a
played
strong team.
together before.
Mhm.
So, and I watched them play their earlier game, the Fermenter game.
Ooh, yeah.
They were pretty good. Sheet C was Blackhawk won that game. Yep.
And our juniors here are just so good. I kind of love it.
Yeah, we have a very good junior program. So tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. is the first draw,
Yeah.
The
which
sheet-
I believe will be, I don't know who we have. Let's see.
It's a Team Dunham
There you
from
go.
Philadelphia versus Team Lehman from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So that will be your game
At
9
9
a.m. tomorrow morning. Dunham and Dutt are two names that people will probably recognize from Philadelphia. Can't imagine why.
I don't know why. Really unusual.
They might be kind of legacy. I
Maybe.
don't know.
It might be.
Yeah. Might have known some of those people from before. I think one of the Dunhams may have already qualified for men's nationals.
Well,
for,
technically two of the Dunhams,
two of the Dunhams.
because they're the same team, aren't they?
Yeah, the older
Is
brothers.
Andy playing
Yeah,
as well?
Andy's playing
Andy
as
and
well.
Scott are both
front end.
playing?
Yeah, they're on
Yeah.
the same. Yeah.
All right.
Andy's front end, Scott's the skip, I
So
believe.
2 Dunhams, 1 team.
Yeah. So yeah, the relatives of the Philadelphia Legacy team will be playing tomorrow at 9 a.m. here, and I have no idea who's actually broadcasting tomorrow.
Not the clue.
Tomorrow morning, I don't know.
Yeah, and our music stopped, so I can't even like close out to the jams.
I know, right? I can't sing us out
Son of a bitch.
because everyone really wants to hear me sing.
Yeah,
No.
totally. Thanks for joining us, guys, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.